Alright guys, welcome to ARWP, the All Real Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Eric Novak of the Wrestling Republic, and today we have a special guest. He is MLW's Openweight champion, Alex Kane.
That's me.
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Just hanging out, relaxing a little bit, before I really get my day cracking.
I got you, alright. Well, you got a busy, schedule ahead of you coming up because you got the tournament coming up for MLW, the Riot. I know they just announced you're going to be a part of that. You excited?
I am very excited. I'm excited to win. The Openweight Fight Club will dominate the Battle Riot. You will see me win and go on to beat Hammerstone for the world title.
Man, two titles on one shoulder. It's going to be pretty cool, actually. Middleweight and heavyweight.
Yeah, it's going to look real cool. And I'm not giving up the Openweight either. I'm not... Don't nobody else need an opportunity.
Well, yeah, we got to talk about, how you won that match, how you won the title with, so many amazing talent in the ring with you, and you being the underdog, people not really expecting it. People expecting, veterans
the
like
underdog.
Alex.
I was the odds-on favorite.
You got veterans like Alex Shelley. You got the mystery card like ACH.
Yeah.
People were not expecting what they were going to see in that match and everything that was going on there. But before we get to that, let's talk about you. Let's talk about the journey that you went through to become a pro wrestler. How did it start off for you?
I joined the WWE in May of 2018, I believe. I think I took, I guess, according to Fox, I took to it pretty quickly. Pro wrestling has always been a passion of mine. It's always been a dream of mine to be a professional wrestler. I remember watching, it was Undertaker and Jeff Hardy. It was a ladder match for the Undisputed title where Undertaker basically beat Jeff Hardy within an inch of his life. But just seeing all the action in that match, I looked up at my dad and I was like, that's what I'm going to do with my life one day. And he was like, well, if you put the work in, anything's possible. So everything that I've done in my life as far as playing sports and stuff like that, I've tried to play certain sports or whatever, just set me up for the physicality and the athleticism you need to be a professional wrestler. And that's football, rugby, wrestling, a little bit of track, lots of weightlifting and stuff like that. So I feel like all of those things kind of set me up to be where I am as quickly as I am here now. I've only been wrestling for 4 years. So yeah, I feel like I've set myself up pretty well. I mean, I've had a lot of amazing people to give me a hand and knowledge and guidance throughout the years. But I'm pretty proud of where I'm at right now.
That's awesome that you had a very good support system, that your family supported your dream, because most family, they're no, you have to get a real job, you have to really, work, this is a hobby, this is this. How was it, when you were telling people outside of your family, how was it in school or this and that, when you didn't want to work an office job and you rather be in the lights than stare at the lights?
Well, a lot of people that are around me, they'd always be oh, well, isn't that fake? I'm I wouldn't sometimes I'm arguing with people, other times I wouldn't, because it's really not worth it. You're not gonna change anybody's mind and things like that. But especially other guys in adult, I tell people that's what I want to do. And most of people that I worked with, when I worked with Kroger and Walmart and shit like that, people would always be I could see you doing that. I could see you doing that. So it was never as far as in my adult life, there was never any pushback or backlash or anything like that. People were always I could really see you doing that. I think you'd be really good at that. So that's always cool.
That's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome people saw that you can do this and that you had that boost of non-giving up energy. It's good to have people that are supporting you, and it makes the transition of this hard journey easier, which is awesome. So tell me about your first match. Tell me about the first time there's a crowd watching you. What were you feeling? My
very first match was at the WWE 4. It was they do a training show every Thursday, just to give the guys a place to, wrestle and like kind of like work the kinks out and get used to working in front of a live crowd. And my first match was actually against AR Fox. That was the graduation match for everybody. And he loaded up the match with everything, every little thing, every little dip, every little transition, anything like that, just to see if you could hang. And that was a really, really cool and fun experience. I remember afterward, he was like, I know I've already told you this before, but like, you really have a chance, make it in this business. And he doesn't just tell anybody that, he's not blowing smoke up anybody's ass when he says that. But he was like, I don't know what he was thinking. He was like, I feel like wrestling's way more attainable than a college degree. And I was like, maybe. I mean, it really just depends on like the dedication you have. If you have the dedication to, go to college and, do all that, cool. If you have the dedication to be a great pro wrestler, then yeah, I guess it'd be more attainable.
So, let's talk about having a match with AR Fox. Let's talk about like beating or just facing your trainer.
No, I won. Okay. Oh, I won.
All right. Even better than beating your trainer. What were you feeling after that? What was the energy that's, coursing through your, veins? What were you like feeling with the crowd cheering you, and just that being one hurdle, that being one journey, one battle that you've already overcome, and now you have evolved to do something else?
To be dead honest, my feelings afterward were like, damn, I really just did that. That was insane. Like, that was crazy. Like, because like, I don't know, like before I was just a nervous wreck. I was like, how am I to remember all of these things that are supposed to go on in this match? But he really took good care of me. He essentially held my hand a little bit, but that is what it is. You don't want to go out there and wrestle your student and then have him shit the bed.
That's true. So you talk about 4 years of wrestling. That's very little for any wrestler, and the fact that you're so accomplished already, doing so much. Let's talk about those 4 years. Throughout those 4 years, what have been some matches that you've really enjoyed and people should definitely check out if it's on YouTube or anywhere? Anything that's like really made an impact in your career that you really cared about?
My match with O'Shea Edwards was probably like really my coming out party. I mean, I think I was on the scene for like 2 years at that point, but like that was really like my coming out party. And I thank him almost every day for that match. He made me look like $1 million. I guess another match that I had that I really enjoyed, I think I had it last year with Hammerstone at PCW Ultra. I really enjoyed that match. That match kind of changed like how I approach like wrestling psychology and match structure. Tom Lawler, again, that was like another coming out party for when I was at Paradigm Pro. That was a really, really fun match. I was extremely excited. I remember I got there that day and they were like, on top of that match, they were like, "Are you ready to work like 5 matches today?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll work 5 matches today." And then they were like, "We're giving you Tom Lawler," and I was like, "Oh shit, we're giving me Tom Lawler." MLW star Tom Lawler at the time, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is fucking nuts! Like, let's fucking go." And I really, really enjoyed that match. I think I earned Tom's respect after that match. I think my absolute favorite match so far, which hasn't aired yet, but I wrestled Davey Richards in Philly. I really, really enjoyed that match too.
All right, well, I hope, I'm excited to check it out. Everyone I'm sure is going to be excited to check it out. Do you know when it's going to air, or?
I think next week, I think.
Okay. So
it's an entire episode that has to do with me and the Boomay Fight Club.
Okay, so all right, so I'll have to keep track of that, so this doesn't overshadow or post at the same time. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about Hammerstone. You said how you want to face him again. You had experience facing him. What is it that you learned from that match that you're gonna put into your next match, whenever that happens? Hopefully after the Riot.
I guess just from like a working standpoint, like it wasn't so much of what I learned about myself. It was more about I learned about like what a babyface really could be, especially a really over babyface. Just like where, like I guess where to like stop their momentum and where to like let it ride a little bit. You know, just how to ride the ups and downs of a match. And then like just how to like create moments with certain things. Because I know like in wrestling we all see the moves don't matter, and they really don't. But what actually matters is the moments that we create using those tools. And like I think like the back half of the match, it was like 3 falsies for me, like just all suplexes or whatever, and like how the crowd bit every time they thought it was over. They thought it was over. And then he does his Hulk up shit or whatever, and then it's we're home there. But it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And you brought up Tom Lawler, and you brought up the fact that after that match, you earned his respect, and he earned your respect. I'm sure you've already respected him before, but, how cool is it, before even going to MLW, before you were even an MLW star, you were looking at him like, oh my God, that's, MLW wrestler Tom Law. Isn't it funny looking back at it now, looking at it like that?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Like, I remember at that same taping, I met Calvin Tankman for the first time. And it was just like, I've never asked anybody like, oh, could you like get me on here? Or, oh, like, I've always asked like, what do they look for? Like what do they go for as far as like talent and stuff goes? And like, they really couldn't give me much. Cause nobody really knows. But like to have wrestled, I think have wrestled Tom Lawler, and then like 3 or 4 months later get contacted by MLW. I'm just like, I know he didn't put in the word for me or anything like that, but like initially that was my first thought. Like, did he like show this to Court Bauer, and Court Bauer was like, oh, we gotta have this guy, like. But no, that's not how that happened. But it's definitely crazy to think about.
Well, I'm definitely curious to know how was it that MLW found you. I'm curious to know how that worked out. Man,
Court told me that a fan from like Ireland like tagged him in a bunch of stuff of mine, and wow. Like kept on. And like I've noticed like normally like a promoter or a owner of a company won't like, he might look at it, but like he may not be impressed. So that like you can tag them 100 times or whatever, but like if the guy's just not impressive, the guy's not impressive. But he actually like took a look at my work. I'm assuming he didn't tell me where he saw it. I'm assuming it's Paradigm. But they were him and MSL were just like, yeah, we got to get this guy. He still didn't tell me exactly what he saw that drew him in, but yeah, he saw my work and he enjoyed it. So they reached out.
That's awesome. Did you ever meet that fan from Ireland? The one that basically, got
Nope, I have no idea who they are. Wow. No idea.
Wow. So tell me about Court Bauer as a person, because like that already is such an amazing way to get someone like, oh, hey, I got tagged in a bunch of stuff and I'm interested in you, and the power of social media. You know what I mean? We didn't have this, before. Now social media holds this much power where it literally gets you a job if people promote enough.
Court Bauer is, I always say he's like the people's champion. He really is the man of the people. I remember the first Battle Riot, he ended up giving it to the fans for free. Just because like everybody has been struggling with the pandemic and like money and stuff like that. And he was like, I'm not going to put this behind a paywall. I'm going to give it to the people because that's what the people need in this time. But he's extremely knowledgeable. Of course, he's worked under Vince McMahon. He's worked for WWE. And like he's really, really open to just allow all of us to like pick his brain, and like it's not like when him and the producers like writing everything for the show, they're not just like, oh, here this is, you have to do this word for word exactly how we said to do it or whatever. Like there's like an open like door, not an open door policy as what they said before, but like there's an open door like to Court. If he sends me something or whatever for the show, like, it's not just like, oh yeah, just do this. It's like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? Like, give me any feedback, anything you would want to change or anything like that you feel like that could be done better.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a really, really open guy. He's really, really cool. I think some people's, like, when people talk about Vince, they talk about him like a father figure. Like, Court is less of a father figure and like more of like that really cool uncle or that really, really cool mentor that you would have growing up. That's kind of how I see it.
That's awesome. And something I've been dying to talk to you about. We talked briefly about it when we met, but you talked about how when you were signing, when you had the contract in your hand for MLW, it was a lot for you to sign. It was a lot of decision making because you didn't know where you would be. You didn't know who else would have wanted you, and you took that risk of wanting to give MLW your attention and all your passion, all your work. How did that all work out? So tell me how it felt when you were doing that, because we briefly talked about it, but I want the fans to know how hard of a decision that was, signing that paper.
It really wasn't. It wasn't that really hard of a decision so much. It was just like a lot to think about because it's my first time ever signing anything like that. But I have my support system, my family, my girlfriend, and I talked to all of them because they had more experience with like legalese and stuff. Like, I don't have any lawyers in my family, but like they've all read enough contracts to know what sounds good and what doesn't. And like with that knowledge, I was able to like negotiate the things that I needed for myself or whatever to sign there. But it was definitely like, because it was like fast. It was like I had like a week to decide. Like that shit, it was insane. It was insane. It was an insane amount of short time that I had to make this decision that has changed my life for the better. It's just been a really, really wild ride. And I think signing with MLW is probably the best decision I made. Kind of the way MSL kind of put it to me is like, yeah, we've had guys that like we've offered contracts and they don't sign with us, and then they're like, and then nothing else comes across the table, and like the fire for them kind of goes out. And I wanted to capitalize on the popularity or being over, and it's done nothing but continue to elevate me or whatever out here on the scene and in the ranks of MLW.
That's awesome. Yeah, you've been doing so much MLW, so let's do a 180. Let's go back to what we were talking about. And I was, signing with MLW and having your first match. What was that like, and what was the energy that you were feeling, knowing that, as soon as you stepped in that ring, one's going to be televised weekly, and two, this is a new character that you have to convince the fans. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of fans who probably don't know who you are. There's like, aside from the ones that are diehard, independent wrestling fans, these are fans from just MLW's perspective, Major League Wrestling. So how hard was it to just regain that Alex Kane energy and be like, this is my character?
It wasn't as dramatic as that. It wasn't that dramatic. A lot of the fans in the crowd knew who I was because I got a pretty good reaction when I came out initially. I think my first match was against Bud Heavy. It was against Bud Heavy. Yeah. That was my first match. They aired it in a way that it was a Battle Riot first, but it wasn't. It was the Bud Heavy match. That was my debut, and I got a pretty decent reaction. It's Philly. It's the ECW arena. Mm-hmm. I remind so many people of Taz. So like as soon as I start, funny enough, Bud Heavy is over in Philly. Like he is over. Like it wasn't even like. They hated me, but like they were so enthralled with loving Bud Heavy or whatever that like it didn't even matter what all the shitty stuff that I did or whatever. They were just loving Bud Heavy. But like, yeah, like I've always told people like when I stepped on stage for the first time, like it didn't feel like, oh, like I don't belong. Like I felt like this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I belong. I belong on this kind of stage. and it was just like the energy for me was high. The adrenaline was high. Like I was more hyped than I think I've ever been in a wrestling match that night. I was on one, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, I saw that match. I believe you had the gold gear. You came out with the gold gear, right? That was the gear.
Yeah. I had the first shiny gold gear that the weekend I got back, it got washed out.
Oh,
I was so sad. I have the lady that made that one made me another one with a different material.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got for some reason I can't catch a break with gear. Like now this one has like a stain in the crotch. It's like a red, like some red streak, and I'm just like, what is going on here? Why can't I catch a break? So now I'm about to go to just black gear and then just play with the colors, with the letters and the trim and stuff like that. But I bought some stuff to hopefully get it out. But regardless, I'm still gonna wear it because I don't care. If you're staring at my crotch or my butt that hard to see that or whatever, you're welcome.
Yeah, no. My next question was gonna be literally, what's your next gear? Because I love gear. I think it really, because if you're like a character in wrestling, you want to look like money. You want to, instead of showing people that you can wrestle like money, you want to be the guy everyone stares at, and that makes it with gear. And you got everyone's attention with the shiny gold gear. You know what I mean? That was the attention. So, and I know you have the black gear. I know you have the white gear. I was curious if there's anything else that's in the works that you have an idea of.
I'm gonna do the same as far as design as the baby blue white one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna do black, and then I think the one that I want to do right now is black and red and silver. It's black is just a safer color, and I mean it works for everything. I mean, yeah, having wild colored gear is dope, but it's also extremely risky, and I don't make the money that I would like to make to be being risky with wrestling gear. But when I do get to the point where I'm doing this full time and I have the money to just buy gear out of the hoo-ha, then I would definitely get some wilder colors. But for right now, we'll play it safe.
I mean, for now it's already rocking. You know what I mean? Your gear's already on fire. So literally. So all right. So let's talk about your championship victory. I always say, what's the match that makes time go still, where everything pauses for a second? Was that the match when you were on the ladder, you won the title, and the time just stopped for a second for you, or was that not the match? Not yet, at least.
No, that wasn't the match. That match was so high energy. There were so many cool things going on. There were so many cool spots going on. Just being able to come in and equalize every situation where people think that they're about to climb up this ladder and win this belt. I do remember when I got to the top of the ladder, I pulled the belt down, and I just heard the boos come from the back of the building to the ring. I was just like, this is everything. Again, most people want to be cheered. Yay, he won the belt. No. Those cheers, I translated, not those cheers, those boos, I translated those to cheers in my mind. I was like, these people really, really hate me, and I love it. It was just a really, really dope moment to be able to stand up there and raise that belt over my head. And it's also really cool that MLW management trusts me to put me in that position, and I feel like I've delivered, and I'm going to continue to deliver being in this spot. But yeah, man, that was amazing.
Yeah, man. So tell me, what you were feeling going into the match. There was veteran Alex Shelley in there. I think it's the first time you probably stepped in a ring with him. Probably.
Yeah, I had nerves. I was a nervous wreck because I've never been in a ladder match before, so I didn't know really what to expect.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, man. When I initially saw the match, I think I texted Corey. I was like, what are y'all thinking? A ladder match? A ladder match? Okay, all right. But. Yeah, I definitely had nerves going into the match. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, how do you prepare for a ladder match? What do you do? Go to training and climb a bunch of ladders and stand up there? No. So there was really no way to prepare mentally for it or physically for it. So that was another factor. But I was just like, look, I'm gonna do what I do best, and that's throw other grown men and women. There were no women in that match, but I'm just letting everybody know I'm equal opportunity.
Of course.
But yeah, I was just like, you know what, let me just stick to my guns, do what I do best, throw people. And that's what I did in that match. And it got me the win.
How was it after the match when you like spoke to everyone in the locker room, like Alex Shelley or ACH, those guys who have like?
I didn't really talk to any of them after the match. They went off and did other things. But like, I got like the congratulations and stuff like that that people normally get after winning the championship. A bunch of people kept telling me how good the gold looks on me, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of congratulations. After all my matches, I always try to go to somebody for critiques.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely got those. And then just like chilling. Yeah, I didn't have anything else to do that night.
That's awesome. So tell me, what was it how many matches did you have before that ladder match in MLW before they literally gave you the title?
I had, if you want to count the Battle Riot, I had 3. If you don't, I had 2.
Who else only had like 2 or 3 matches and then just goes to win a title? You know what I mean? Like who do you know?
A motherfucking star like me,
Like no, that just means that that company truly sees a lot of potential in you, and like to put it on the fans. You know what I mean? Like just having 2 to 3 matches, just getting to the idea of who you are, and then winning the title, and still being the champion, even right now. How long has it been? It's been
7. I think it's been 7 or 8 months.
That's literally insane. That's you're gonna go down in history for that. Like I don't think anyone.
I'm definitely gonna go down in history for that, and being only the second. Hammerstone was the first. I'm the second. So no one can take that away from me. I think awesome. after that match, someone made me a Wikipedia page, which is dope as hell.
That's so cool. Yeah, wow, that's really awesome. So tell me.
Now my nieces and nephews can be like, oh yeah, this is my uncle.
No, I'm sure you were looking at I'm sure you were reading the whole Wikipedia page, making sure they got everything right. I'm sure you were eyeballing that, right?
The only thing that sucks about that Wikipedia page, they literally only have my MLW stuff. They don't have anything else on it. Nothing else. It's like I did. Like most people think I didn't exist before MLW, which is makes me sad.
At least that one guy in Ireland supported you, all right?
Yeah. At least he supported me. But a lot of fans be like, so what'd you do before MLW? I'm like, how do you think I got here?
Oh my God! All right, so let's talk about what you want to do next. You brought up Hammerstone, but aside from that, the Riot coming up, what do you want to accomplish in the next 5 years coming into your wrestling journey?
Expand the Boom Fight Club. I'm still trying to work out the kinks to bring it onto the independents. But that's definitely a goal of mine, and then also to expand it. I want a little bit of everything in the Boom Fight Club. Because I want to be able to dominate any and every division there is in any company, especially MLW. Win a few world titles and make a lot of money.
Of course. All right, so let's talk about this open door policy with a lot of companies that have, I don't like to call it the forbidden door, just too overused. It's called open door policy, where a lot of wrestlers come and go. You have people like Buddy Matthews come in, Bobby Fish came in. Let's say more wrestlers come in. Is there anyone that you want to face in that? Jeff Cobb. Okay.
Jeff Cobb.
Okay. That would be literally a dream match. Call up TJP. I know he's in MLW. Call him up. And as for Jeff Cobb, I'm sure the United Empire works together. I'm sure you can. If that was the case, if it was a tag match, let's say it was a tag match. You had TJ, Jeff Cobb. Who would you put as your tag partner? Because I'm about to book a match right now. I'm about to go on social media. We're about to get you United Empire versus. And they gotta give me a name too for your tag team. It could be anybody.
I'll say Edwards.
Who?
O'Shea Edwards.
O'Shea Edwards. Okay. All right.
O'Shea Edwards.
It's gonna be a good one. Okay. So I'm gonna make sure everyone that's watching this is gonna start tweeting. You better like the tweets. If everyone's gonna start tweeting, it's a good thing that Empire.
I'm gonna retweet the fuck out of it.
All right. Other than Jeff Cobb, which is so much of a possibility that could happen, because I am seeing New Japan and MLW allowing a lot of wrestlers to do a bunch of stuff. So anyone else other than Jeff Cobb, even though that is a dream match for me too, I would love to see that.
Josh Alexander.
Would you go to Impact? Would you show up to Impact for that?
Bro, if I could show up to Impact to do that match, I'd show up to Impact to do that match. I probably can't, but if I could, I would.
Scott Demore's probably hear this.
Or he shows up to MLW, whichever way it has to go. Jonathan Gresham. Yeah, just watching him work, he's just so fluid and smooth. It's almost funny sometimes how smooth he is.
Well, Gresham has his own company or show. I'm sure he does. He had like 2 shows already. He's running 2 shows on it. It's like his own thing. He created it. He books his own people.
It's Terminus.
Yeah, Terminus.
But I'm not cool enough to be on Terminus yet. I'm not cool enough for that.
All right.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, I was going to bring up also New Japan Strong. Tom Lawler, who's MLW, also shows up with Team Filthy and a bunch of other, people through New Japan Strong. So I'm sure that's a possibility too.
Tom Lawler is no longer with MLW.
Really?
Yeah, really. I think he left the last time we were in... No, were we in... We were in North Carolina, I believe. That was his last show.
Did they ever announce that? I want to make sure I'm not missing something. Did they ever announce that?
I think they did. I think they did announce that.
Okay, well then I'm just clueless, I guess. Well, it
happens.
It is what it is.
This wrestling world moves so fast.
It really does. Oh my god. All right. So now that we are, I know you're busy. I know it's your morning. You just started. You said that you have a lot to do today. So let's just run it down quickly to the ending of the interview already. Let's talk about, where you want to go. So, like, aside from, who you want to face in MLW, what are some companies, independent promotions, or anything that you've been, wanting to work, or just places you want to go, like arenas you want to wrestle in, just things to say out in the universe for it to come back, type of thing.
Well, I'm wrestling in Germany next month for WXW, right. So that'll be cool. Yeah. It won't be on the network, thankfully. I mean, ultimate goal would be AEW. Mm-hmm. If not that, WWE. But if not that, overseas in Japan. Really, I'd rather be an international star than anything. Because then if I'm an international star, then I can come back to the States and be like, give me all your money. Let's go. Open the wallets. But I'm really open to really wrestling anywhere. Anywhere that'll have me and wants to get this work. But one place that I really have my eye on right now is Warrior.
Warrior Wrestling.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I really have my eye on them.
I know Wrestling Republic are good friends with Warrior Wrestling, so I'm sure Warrior Wrestling's gonna see this. All right.
Yeah, they are. They're doing the best shit. They have the best. They bring the best talent. They have the best shows. They really go in. So yeah, I definitely want to show my face there.
All right. Just to keep adding this, just because I like to bring attention. Warrior Wrestling, let's say we got their attention. Who do you want to face? What match would you...
Again, either Jonathan Gresham or Davey Richards.
All right, well, okay.
Or Jeff Cobb.
or Jeff Cobb. Anyone or everyone wants to see that match, so let's hope, any company starts booking that ASAP. All right, and last thing, I saw it in Invictus. That's my home. I love that company. If you went back there, what do you want to do there? Just to get their attention too. What would you want to do at Invictus?
Wrestle for championships. That's what I should be doing everywhere. Is wrestling for championships and winning championships, and then taking the championships and around the world. But I think wrestling wrestling Lawler would be cool. The only thing is, I don't want that lariat. I don't want that lariat.
Just don't take it.
I don't think you can escape it. It's gonna happen regardless. It's something I don't want.
All right, and then you brought up, AEW. Obviously it's a company that's been talked about for a long time. What is the reaction you've been seeing following AEW with the fact that they're very new, just doing all this stuff, having all these shows and pay-per-views. What's your initial reaction on AEW and maybe some wrestlers in it too that gotten your attention?
They're very new. They're very fresh. They ride to the beat of their own drum, and I can always respect that. And ultimately, they're having fun doing it. They may take pot shots at the other company or whatever, and that is what it is. But that's wrestling. How you can't be mad at that. They're having a good time. It seems like it's a pretty dope place to work also. I have a few friends that are there, and they enjoy it. And if they enjoy it, I'd probably enjoy it too.
And with WWE, have you been following what they've been doing? Because I know they're doing too much that anyone...
I don't know. Since the rebranding of, because I used to watch NXT a lot, but since the rebranding, I haven't watched it that much. And then with Raw and SmackDown, I catch highlights or I'll read articles, but I'm not sitting down to watch it.
Fair enough.
It's too long.
All right, and let's end it with MLW. The Battle Riot is coming up. Everyone better watch the Battle Riot. It's an insane concept. Explain to people who, if they don't know what it is, explain to them what it is. And explain to them what, your plan... Oh, not your plan. Let's not avoid that. But what is your energy going into this match? What are you going to do to get yourself the victory in the Battle Riot?
I'm going to strategize with the Openweight Fight Club. We're going to figure out how... Whether it's me, Mr. Thomas... There's a new member. Can't tell you who it is. But there's a new member. Okay. You're gonna have to watch that episode to find out who it is.
Okay.
But we'll strategize. We'll figure out a strategy. And we'll execute it to the best of our ability. And see one of the Openweight Fight Club, hopefully me, but one of us gets to go face Hammerstone. I'm excited. Now that I have a better feel for the rules and how it's laid out, how it's done, I'm a lot more confident going in. So yeah, I'm focused. I am focused.
That's awesome. All right. Well, this does end our interview. It was such an honor talking to you. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and everyone better tune in to watch MLW every Thursday, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, every Thursday. Tune in, watch MLW. It's the best wrestling on the planet.
And of course, go buy the Battle Riot. It's going to be amazing. And if you're in the New York area like me, go watch it. Go buy tickets. Go watch it. It's going to be incredible.
Definitely. The best show in New York that day, I can assure you.